up, guys? You know it's that time again. Unfortunately, today marks the last episode for Dance with Devils. I'm shedding a tear right now. I have to say, like I said from the very beginning, this had to be one of the best reverse harems anime of this season from beginning to end. We had action, we had romance, we had singing and dancing, we had it all in this anime, and now it's over. So in this episode we have the final battle, which is the devils versus the vampires. Okay, all the guys, their moves, they're pretty cool and they're flashy, and all the vampires, every time they're hit with an attack, they burst up into flames. Now you know that Lindo is a Dampier, so his father is Lord Nesta and his mother was Marta. And you know it was messed up, but you can't expect any less, knowing that he wants the Grimoire. Lord Nesta decides to hypnotize Lindo into thinking, I've always loved you, my son. I've always, that's the reason why I went after the Grimoire, so that me, you, and your mother could live together, which is utter bullshit because he never cared once for his son. If he did, he would try to look for him all these 18, 19 years of his life or try to bond with him, even if it was to retrieve the Grimoire. If that's how he truly felt, he would have tried his best to be with his son, despite him being um the top vampire, the lord over all vampires. And when we thought the fight was finished with Lindo, killing him by striking him through the chest, we found out that he hit his heart. So that's why it's very hard to kill him. The final boss was very hard to kill. You thought you killed him, but he said that he hit his heart. Now it marks this episode marked the by the 12th hour marked Ritsuka's 17th birthday. So she finally turned 17 by the minute of midnight, and the grimoire awakens inside of her. So this bright light shines upon everyone, and now that Lord Nesta sees it, he's trying to retrieve it. And what happens is, if you remember in the opening, by the very ending, they're in this. Her and the other cast are in this world where it's like everywhere is like a sky, and she's walking on like water that's reflecting the sky, and she sees a dagger that reminds her of Azana's weapon, and then she sees this black rose in the middle of this cloudy place, and she goes there, and it's Nesta's heart. It represents his heart, and his heart was in this statue of a woman. So Ritsuka stabs the flower, which shows that she stabbed the statue, and that's where he was hiding his heart, and that eventually kills him. So the grimoire was like a world inside of Ritsuka, and you always see that in certain animes, like whenever the human or someone is a host for something very powerful, it's like that powerful thing that's inside of them, whether it be a creature or something, has a world of its own. And inside there is like it shows you the path of how to get stronger, or it shows you a path of how to defeat your opponent or something like that. And that world showed her Nesta's Lord Nesta's heart, which she ultimately destroyed. So she was the one to kill the final boss of the series. And by the end of the series, we have um Rem. He confesses his love to her, and he asks her if she wants to spend the rest of her life with him in the demon world, in hell with him. But she decides to stay with her family. She got back her mother, and she's with her brother Lindo, and Rem and the others go back to their own world. So the Grimoire is now asleep again until another 615 years later will it reawaken, and probably by that time Ritsuka is already dead, unless she has multiple grandchildren after children, generation after generation, where the power of the Grimoire passes on. But it won't awaken till another 315 years later. So we end on a good note. Nessa's defeated. Rem and Ritsuka, they confess their love, but they're not together because they both are living in their separated worlds. But if fate allows them to, they will come back together as a couple. So that's the end of Dance with Devils. It was a good series. You know, it was romance and everything, so expect all that romance. And there was a good amount of action. This is probably one of the few reverse harems that deals with action that involves blood or something like that. So decent animation. The song sometimes got in the way of the overall plot and random times, but what can you do? They should have put that in the genre saying that this is a musical as well, but they didn't. They want to surprise us. The characters, we got an understanding of all the characters, so that was a good thing. There was no character I did not like except for Lord Nesta and his little right hand who died. Thank God he died. So overall characters were decent, the story was decent, easy to follow. um the fights weren't overall crazy, but they were good enough to see. So I would give this series a 7.5 out of 10. It's a decent show, so I suggest you check it out when you have the free time. That's all I have for this series. I'm gonna miss it. Who knows? Probably might get a. It probably may not get a second season, but let's hope for that. Well, let's hope that it gets an OVA at least. Hopefully, it gets an OVA with the Blu-ray and DVD. So check us out on Twitter and on Tumblr. Also check us out on Facebook if you'd like to become a member of our Facebook page. Also, please subscribe. It will help build up this channel as I want to do bigger and better projects in on this channel and possibly with other anime reviewers on YouTube. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later.